Good evening, this is a scene for London Ascending Vampire. This scene takes place at the salon at 34 Tite Street, which Camilla has said that is open for an after party should people wish to come and relax here after the fight club which previously took place. When the two kindreds arrive or going to arrive, Camilla's not there at first. She will arrive shortly afterwards through the front door, but they're greeted by Cadbury.
Good evening. As Laura
Good
arrives,
evening.
she will just nod, smile, and enter.
Good evening, Mom.
Hello. Good evening. I'm glad to be here once more. Please, are you having a good evening?
Yes, very good, Mom. Very good. He says, smiling at her. Seemed to be a little bit sort of like smiley about Laura.
She will just politely just enter and nod at him and enter the salon and find a seat.
Lady Fortescue is currently out fetching something. She'll be back very shortly.
Fair enough. I will wait here. It is no problem at all.
Dazzling and, nodding politely as he's, bringing that in.
Cadbury takes your coat. And he will say, good evening, sir. Please come into the salon. Lady Fortescue will be back very shortly.
Perfect. And he'll just stride in and sit down and smile at Laura.
And Camilla will make a roll. Give me blood. Right. She not that long afterwards, probably like 5 minutes after you arrive, she turns up, enters the room in a completely different suit to what she was wearing at the fight club. You don't know how she has so many outfits on her, how she manages to change them so quickly. Lord Seneschal, Lady Harpy. She dips a bow.
Laura will stand and return the bow.
Yeah, Garda will glide up and nod and bow.
How are you? Did you enjoy the fight club?
Ecstatic as he just smiles.
She sits down and sort of pulls back her jacket and relaxes in the chair, indicating them both sit down. Is there anything you wanted to talk to me about? On this fine evening, you seemed both quite eager to knock at my door. Not that I'm complaining.
He kind of, ladies first, and turns to Laura.
No, I just wanted to come to a more relaxed atmosphere. Just calm down from all the excitement. I always enjoy spending time with esteemed members of the court, such as yourselves.
He just kind of just stands up almost like fixing himself. I do believe what we talked about earlier, is he kind of looks at Laura and raises an eyebrow at Camilla, as if, is she coming? Type of stare.
Camilla, sort of not hardens her gaze, that's the wrong word. She sort of raises an eyebrow and then shakes her head. Almost looking at Laura. I mean, make a P&E roll. Because it's a bit complicated for you to get from a single glance. I'll make you make a P&E roll.
Oh, 2 dice. Or 2 successes.
Let's see. 2 successes as well.
Camilla seems somewhat like quite a little bit insistent about that. Maybe she's being protective over Laura.
Laura will just smile as she catches that glimpse, and she will just say, You did speak in private, somewhat, so I'm not sure I'm privy to all the details, but if the city has need of me, I will answer the call.
I think our team is large enough. Wouldn't you say, Camilla, darling? He gives a soft smile to Camilla, like almost an understanding.
Oh yes, large enough for this task anyway. But
Would you like to discuss this in private?
no.
No,
Well, perhaps in a bit. But your company is not discouraging us. You're welcome here, as always.
Thank you.
I must say that, Camilla, you fought fabulously, by the way. I have my money riding on you. He does actually smile quite genuinely when he said that.
Yes, I fear that I hadn't dedicated much time to fisticuffs. I'm somewhat versed, but not as well versed as our Bourgeois Primogen.
Neither have I. He just kind of gives a genuine, kind of good-natured smile. He sits down.
Well, I thought you fought admirably. Mr. Hardcastle did that interesting move I hadn't seen anywhere outside the Orient.
Well, in all my years of extensive combat training, I'd never seen anything quite like that. Yeah, it's just laughing, quite, the smile was nice.
It was most amusing and entertaining. It's a good practice for all our skills.
Indeed.
I saw William crying the other night.
Yes.
Is there a reason behind his upset that I should know about? Well, the court should know about? She sort of looks towards Laura.
Kind of just nods. It's like a smile, but not kind of really. It's more turning into a grimace. Arthur decided to ask on after his demotion.
Troubling.
Yes. Well, sometimes with our clan we resign ourselves to the madness, and then we eventually stop. He just gives actually a kind of a sad smile.
Cadbury takes it as a note to start pouring a drink. So he sort of makes his way through the gap, and sort of very carefully pours out 3 glasses of drink. Like, this is the time for drink, type thing. And then he disappears again. So he takes up her glass. Yes. I hope that will be the last of Lord Troubling. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. He just kind of, it will be the last. Garrett kind of gives her a nod. He was reckless with the use of certain things that only should be carefully balanced and carefully applied.
Camilla nods and seems to accept the taste, but doesn't seem to be all that sorry about him being dead. There's no kind of curt coldness in her gaze. But then Camilla's not all that emotive in the first place.
Garrett looks sad, but probably both of you are going to have for perception and empathy on it. Because, yeah, he's hiding something.
Oh my god, roll the dice!
Roll the dice!
I have 1 success.
Is Camilla going to
I have fucking
2?
Two successes.
Oh, yeah. With 2, Camilla definitely notices that Garnet seems more delighted. You know, that sadness it seems more a masquerade. With Laura, you can tell he's happy about something. You know, he's more kind of, he's not just It's like, oh well. But Camilla, you see that he is definitely more delighted at the fact that Arthur is gone.
Regardless, after a bit of silence, Laura will go over and just say, I must, um, please accept my deepest condolences.
Why, thank you, Laura. He nods and gives her a very gentle smile.
And she will just go over to Camilla and just say, well, what, are you going out to investigate something, or you've piqued my interest, I must say. Sounds serious.
Never a secret from a woman, is there? She smiles.
Well, you said your group was large enough as it was, and well, I wish to help, but of course I understand if you are to manage resources, you should not put too many people into a place that does not require that many people.
I believe you may be able to help at a later date. It's the initial stage of the inquiry.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's see at what depth we are first, and then we can attempt to swim it.
Where are you going? If you can say, of course.
Quilla looks to Planet.
He just smiles. Under the ground.
Under our city's veins.
Very well. Fair enough. She smiles. Just says, I hope to...
Camilla gives a kind of an apologetic look.
You can tell that Laura just smiles and nods, and she just seems to be either content with it or seems to be in no way put off or irritated. She just nods understandably and just sits back and just quiets down a bit.
I'm making as much use of this place as I can, Finishel, as I fear if what we think is coming, then we won't be able to use these places at all.
No. He kind of just looks up almost sadly at the place. It is a wondrous location, but it's a shame if it has to be sacrificed. He just gives a genuine smile, looking around, kind of appreciating everything.
I'll simply stop using it in the event of the outbreak of war. But I will be sad. I will miss it. Especially the room upstairs. She smirks.
Yes, I'm sure. It's the most delightful thing to explore. He just gives us sort of a wink. But many things will have to be sacrificed if war breaks out, I fear. Many things.
But a sacrifice in war is more than just the pain of loss, to be honest. It can bring victory sometimes.
So she picks up her glass and tilts it to victory.
Garrett does the same. Victory.
And Laura would join that cheer and drink. And she will just look at them and just say, well, I mean, it was a delight to see you. I mean, I must say, Mr. Senator, my dear Senator, it was you and Mr. Hardcastle fighting was probably one of the last fights I would have pictured if you had asked me beforehand.
Well, even the seneschal must throw down and, prove his worth every now and again, my dear Laura, even if he's not very good at it.
Not merely saying that it was a refreshing change of, well, what I would have expected.
I'm glad to have brought the change. Garnet just smiles.
Hmm. But this excursion you have, is it tonight?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Yes.
I do not want to hinder your planning. If you have such things in mind, please, I will lead you to it.
Twila stands up, as if to sort of see her out.
And she bows, and we'll just say goodbye to both of them with the respect that they deserve, and we'll leave the salon.
Twila turns and looks after her. She sort of watches until the door closes, and then for a second longer, even after that. And then she sits down and again, and Cadbury pours her another drink. So,
Fond of her. Garnet has just a smile.
Hmm?
Well, Laura, you two seem very keen.
oh, she's a good counterpart for intellectual discussions. Camilla smiles.
That she is. That she is. He just returns the smile. So, Camilla, he kind of just gestures our plan.
My plan. Well, I can move quietly and stealthily if I am so needed to do so. I'm not gifted with the power that some have of being able to hide myself.
Well versed in the site.
Yes, well, enough.
He just nods. The gangrel, they'll be useful in terms of their animalism, in terms of their ability to, I don't know how fast they are, but if they're as good as Dian is fighting, well, we should be alright. But you and I were going to have to work on identifying members if we find anything. This is where you will be most keen along with myself.
My belief. You say that a large group of people went missing at once, kidnapped from a train.
Yes.
The animals spoke of seeing a large black cloud. And they were frightened. That is a trick the Sombra use. Often instilling terror and panic. It's able to render the people inside, any humans or any ghouls inside, she sort of clenches her fist ever so slightly. And then she turns to Cadbury and says, Cadbury, will you please excuse us? And he leaves. And she says, it's able to render anyone that breathes suffocated after a time.
Effect.
I've seen it used. If my suspicions are correct, then they would have taken such a large amount of people to, more than likely, shovelhead them.
Indeed. There'll be a whole army down there.
Which means they're either in the tunnels or they're nearby in a pit or have recently escaped from a pit. Which means we may have to deal with a pack of feral kindred if we are uncautious.
Very true. Very, very true. If we do encounter a pack of feral kindred, we'll have to deal with it, but we'll have to move quickly away or keep it as quiet as we can. If we get swarmed down there, he kind of just leaves that hanging.
Camilla she just seems to nod. She tenses her jaw slightly. She seems to be processing thoughts. Yes.
No, I can move unseen and I'm quite lethal with an axe. So, provide flanking if you need to use your blade.
I'm proficient against multiple targets, but I'd rather not fight in a closed space unless I really have to.
Agreed, neither would I.
Right. Who else joins us? The gangrel?
Gangrel. Her Dion and her sire. And Lauren. Lauren could be useful as well. 3 of us with the sight could be an effective tactical map before we even enter a room. That's what I'm thinking. We need to use our strengths.
I say. Right. I fed. I will go and go to my haven and retrieve my my other gear, some armor, black clothing, and I will meet you at the meeting point very soon.
Yeah. If all else fails, make sure Lauren and Dion make it out. I can find my own way. No need to worry about me.
She looks at him kind of as if she would say something, but she just nods. Sort of like a bow head nod.
He just smiles at her very gently. After all, it's only a sewers. What's the worst that could happen? And he just has a bit of a smile on his face as he's standing.
And Camilla will open the door. You see Cabri and 2 of the serving girls come out, get into a different car and drive off, and then Camilla goes to her car. See you soon.
Soon, and stay safe. As he just walks off, going to basically go feed and get ready.
Right. And that's where we end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Till next time.